Hey there gamers, welcome back to the Board Game Co channel, and today we have a preview of Delivery Witches. Well, hey there gamers, welcome back to the Board Game Co channel, and today we have a preview of Delivery Witches. This is a current Kickstarter campaign. You can check out the link down below to see everything that they have planned, and this is quite a cute game that I am excited to show off to you guys, especially in October, to show you a witchy game. So with that, thank you to Undigital for sponsoring this video, and also with that, please note that this is a prototype copy that I have in front of me, so everything is subject to change, but with that, you're going to see a game where you are playing as different witches, and you are trying to hone your skills and upgrade your abilities by both upgrading your broom and your different skills that you have available to you to deliver further and further throughout your town so that you can deliver all the way up to the top of the mountain and become one of the best delivery witches around. In the game, players are going to be these witches flying all around these different areas, trying to deliver different packages depending on the deliveries that they have and the houses that they need to then connect it to. Now, to do so, every turn, players are going to start off with 4 actions per turn, but you are actually able to roll them over turn with a limit of 8 actions per turn. So you can see there is an action tracker here, and in the beginning that may not necessarily matter, but as you can see, some of these pathways can really lock up that depending on when you choose to use all of your actions, you can wait, take your time if you're not able to get somewhere that you want to be, and then take a whole bunch of actions at once, delivering your different packages, and then picking up new deliveries. Now, to be able to access this second level, you have to upgrade your broom to the purple broom here, and to be able to reach the top of the mountain, you will need to upgrade your broom yet again to this golden broom. So we're going to talk about the pace of play and how you're going to be doing that, but generally players are going to be working all the way up this track trying to deliver more and more of these deliveries, and to do so they will be gaining these different tiles here which will score them victory points at the end of the game. Now, as I said, players will start off with 4 actions per turn, and they may be able to bank some for future turns, but with that being said, you're going to have 4 actions available to you, and they are all pretty intuitive. The first one is going to be movement, and you're going to spend 1 action point for every movement that you do. So for you to be able to move from one spot to the other, that would be 1 action point. And then the next thing you're going to be able to do is accept deliveries. Now you're going to be accepting deliveries for the appropriate deck for the area that you're in. So for example, if I moved my Black Witch north here, I would be able to use an action point. So I'd spend 1 action to move, and then I would be able to spend another action point to accept a delivery. So I would flip over the top card here, and this is what I am now required to be able to deliver. You can see I already have 2 here, and the maximum is 3. You cannot accept new deliveries until you then complete some, and when you do complete them, you will keep them here for set collection scoring. Now, as far as your 4 actions, after movement and accepting deliveries, you're going to be able to upgrade either your broom or upgrade abilities. So upgrading your broom, I already explained, it's going to cost you 5 gold for a purple broom and 10 gold for a golden broom, and you'll need both because you have to get to one level before you can get to the other, but after that you're going to be able to purchase abilities. Now these abilities do have an escalating cost for crystals, where it's going to be 5, 8, and 12, so you can see the 2 different resources cost you different things throughout the game, either crystals or coins, and those are worth points at the end of the game, so nothing is lost for acquiring more. But after that, we're going to take a look at the abilities now so you can see what you're able to purchase. Now, when you are purchasing these abilities, you can see the cost is clear on your player board. You're filling it from left to right, so it will cost you 5, 8, and then 12 crystals. You can see that the blue player here does already have one available to them, and the one that they have is going to allow them to move over obstructions. These are called hazards, and they're placed randomly throughout the game, and they will affect when you are delivering packages, which we'll get to soon. But just note that there are the waterfalls and these mountains, and they will be a detriment to you when you are moving around the board. So for the blue player to take this and for them not to have an effect on them is very, very strong. Now looking at the other abilities here, for this one, whenever you deliver a package, you get +2 crystals. Every delivery that you make will award you both coins and crystals. You can see here this package is 3 and 3. So this one would give you 2 additional when you have it available. And then this one would allow you to move over another witch. So normally you are not able to use your movement through another witch. You're not able to stop on their spot, and every movement is its own action. So this would allow you to jump over a witch to a spot that is adjacent to the spot that they're on. Now this card is very cool. This one, when you are drawing the different delivery cards, you're able to draw the top 3, choose the one that you want specifically, and then put the other 2 on the bottom of the deck. So that's a way for you to try to get the deliveries that you want specifically, because whenever you stop at a specific house, you get to deliver for all of that color. So for example, when looking at our black player here, they now have those 3 delivery cards, so they want to start delivering. And they do have 2 orange packages that want to be delivered. Now we do have orange over here. However, this one does not want to be delivered through a waterfall. Now you are able to do so, and I'll explain why you don't want to, but it does not want to, and neither does this one. So that wouldn't be a great idea. Now this player does already have their purple broom, so they are able to pass through this area even though they are still delivering packages down to this lower area. So they would be able to go 1, 2, 3 and deliver their packages. This house would not help them at all, but that's okay because they're now jumping around to this area and delivering on these packages. Now for this first delivery, there's only 1 package to be delivered, so it's going to be delivered right away. It's going to award the 1 crystal and the 2 coins, so we're going to take that now for us. And because that is the way that it wanted to be delivered, we are now able to move up on a mastery. The mastery is going to be this track that you see here, and there are 4 different types that you are able to master. So this one would allow us to go up on either green or yellow. And looking at the black player, I think that our best bet is to go up on green because it's not as strong as yellow is in, or as blue is in yellow. So we'll move up in 1 here, and whenever you reach this row, all players will get the reward, which is either crystals or coins. But once you reach that area, you're able to take control of this token. Now these tokens will award points at the end of the game, but you are able to take control away from other players. When you move above them, you're able to take control of that token. And if you ever reach the top, instead of going further up, you actually move all players down 1 in that area instead. Now that this is delivered, we're going to add it to our collection over here of delivered packages. And for this delivery, we'll slide these up. And for this one, because we were able to visit that area, we will now put a token here to show that we have delivered that package. So we now, let's see, we were here, we go 1, 2, 3, and you're able to deliver for free. That is not an action that costs you action points. So we would have 1 action left. Looking at how we are on the board, we still want to try to deliver some of these, so I think this player would then pass and bank that 1 action for a future turn. Now, another thing that would be strategic for this player is that because of the amount of crystals and money that they have, they are able to get up to this area here to also upgrade. In the 2nd level, you're able to visit this area to also upgrade either your abilities or your broom. That way you don't have to backtrack back to the beginning to be able to ascend to the final area. Now looking at these tokens here, this is where players are going to get a major amount of points at the end of the game, and this is also what is going to trigger endgame. So these different brooms you're going to put in your broom areas, but the other ones you're going to slot into your player board. Now you're going to do this when you do different things. For example, this one here is once you have 3 different ability cards. So once you have purchased all 3 for your character, you're able to take this here. And in a 4-player game, there are 4 tokens here, and they're in different values for 5, 3, 2, and then 1. So depending on the player count and how many players you're playing with, you'll set up the tokens differently and have different amounts to be, respective to the number of players. Now looking through the other ones here, this, and this are for set collection for the different areas. So this would be when you have a certain number of packages collected. For the black player here, you can see that they have the orange, blue, and green, and they're only missing the purple. So that might be a good idea for them to try to get that package where they would have to try to get the delivery. Actually, they have one right here. So as soon as they get this delivery, they would be able to snag this award and slot it into their player board, giving them victory points at the end of the game. Now this one here would just be 4 of the same color, so this player is also working toward that. As soon as they deliver this last green, they would have 4 green and also be able to take this one. Now, every good witch has a familiar, and there are also the crows. The crows are the top spot of the board, so it's obviously the hardest to get to. You have to get all the way to the very top, but the crows are also the most rewarding for points at the end of the game. You'll have to get to the top spot, and then you'll be able to spend an action to spend 15 coins to take this, and all of them are worth 10 points at the end of the game. Now, players can only collect one of these medals, so it's not like you could have multiple, but any player who goes there will still get those 10 points, which makes it worth it to go to. Now, there are a few other of these awards that you're able to get for the different medals, but this is what's recommended for a beginning game. The other ones will reward you for hitting certain thresholds, such as having a certain number of crystals and coins and things like that. Now that you know the pace of play of the game and how you will be both getting these different deliveries and delivering the packages, as well as getting these different medals and upgrading your abilities, I'm going to go over endgame scoring because these medals are extremely important, but everything that you do throughout the game will count for you. So you'll get a point for each package delivered, and that's not each package card, but each package. So for example, here we have 4 cards for the black player, but it would currently be worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So they would have 6 points available, but that will escalate as you grow more and more up the mountain. Now you will also subtract a point for every undelivered package. So again, using this player as an example, they currently have 2 undelivered packages, so that represents -2 points for them at the end of the game. And when you are doing this endgame scoring, you can use these tokens to denote that. These tokens are also used when you aren't able to get your mastery bonus. So if you do move over a terrain that you are not able to, or there are some that are timed where you need to complete them within a specific amount of time. If you ever aren't able to do that, you'll use this also to cover the different cards to show that you weren't able to get that. So that's what the sad side is for, and the happy side is on the other side. But so at the end of the game, you would use these to show that you are subtracting a point for each of them, but then you would also gain a point for each delivered package. So the ones that are partially delivered on your cards, if you have any of them delivered, that at least will count toward your endgame scoring. Now after that, you'll get points for all of the tiles that are on your player board. So that will be both your medals as well as your brooms, because the brooms are also worth victory points at the end of the game. So you will be using these to score points for yourself. And when you are doing the scoring, this is when players will take their player color cube and be tracking this along this score track here. So it's very useful that you're using this for your actions throughout the game, and then you're using this at the end of the game to show your endgame scoring. So you will use that and all of your medals and broom points, as well as any masteries if you have acquired any, so you would add these points as well to your end game points. And then after that, players will get points for their leftover coins and crystals at a 3-to-1 ratio, unique to each type, meaning that you would need 3 coins for a victory point or 3 crystals for a victory point, and in those multiples you'll be able to make up your points for whatever you have left over from the deliveries that you are able to make. Endgame is triggered when a player gets their 4th medal, so as soon as someone's player board is full with 4 different medals, that will trigger endgame, where all players in the round will be able to take a final turn before the end score is calculated. Overall, since this is a game with escalating tiers and growing abilities, you're going to feel your turns getting bigger and bigger as you escalate up the mountain. In the beginning, you're going to feel that you don't have many actions and you're kind of tight up against the board with all of the other players, and you're trying to make these perfect deliveries so that you increase your masteries. But as you get stronger and stronger, you'll be able to accomplish more and more by the end of the game. Now, there is a solo mode that I was not able to try, so that's something that I do look forward to trying. If I'm able to do so, I will leave a comment in the comments below, because that is something that did excite me about this game. So for all of my solo players out there, that is an option that is planned for the game. If you'd like to see everything they have planned, you can check out the Kickstarter link down below. I've been Professor Meg. Thank you all for watching the Board Game Code channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!